Lesson 4-4, Simplifying Fractions. Equivalent fractions are fractions that have the same value. A fraction is in its simplest form when the greatest common factor of the numerator and the denominator is 1. So for example, if we have something like 7/8, that's the simplest form because the greatest common factor of 7 and the greatest common factor of 8 would be 1. So we're going to take a look at writing fractions in simplest form. So if we have an example of 8/24, we first want to determine a factor that they both have in common. They both have in common a 2. So we're going to divide both the top and the bottom by 2. So that gets us 4/12. This is not the simplest form because they also have another number in common. So we could divide by 2 again and get 2/6. 2/6 is not simplest form because you could divide both of those by 2 and get 1/3. Now both of them have 1 as their greatest common factor, so your simplest form would be 1/3. Now there's multiple different ways that you could have done this same problem. You could have divided both of them by 4. You could have divided both of them by 8. You could start dividing them both by 2 and then divide by 4. So there's multiple different ways that you can do this depending on what common factor you pull out first. But you always want to make sure that it's in its simplest form at the end. So if we have this example here, we can find the greatest common factor of the numerator and the denominator and then divide by that. So if we list the factors of 6, we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. If we list the factors of 24, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. And we see the numbers that they have in common would be the 6. So then you could go back and you could divide both of these by 6, which would give you your simplest form of 1/4. Pause the video to simplify the fractions below. So the first one is 36/45. So I'm going to simplify this one by finding the greatest common factor. So the common factor of both of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36 is the factors of 36. And the factors of 45 are 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, and 45. So the greatest number that they have in common would be 9. So if I divide 36 by 9, I get 4. And if I divide 45 by 9, I get 5. So my answer would be 4/5. Now the next one, I'm just going to start dividing out the common factors. So I can divide 8 by 4, I can divide 20 by 4, and I get 2/5. And that's actually the simplest form. I also could have divided 8 and 20 by 2 and gotten 4/10, and then I could divide by 2 again and get 2/5. So there's 2 ways to do the same problem and get the same answer. Pause the video to complete the lesson review. Make sure you show me the lesson review for verification of this video.